Good people, good people. We're back. It's another episode. Play Caller Sports Talk. This is gonna be your 9-12 episode. So we're gonna be going over, different things happening within the world of sports. You know what time of year it is. We're gonna be focusing on NCAA football, NFL, right? We got the WNBA playoffs coming, so we might swerve, weave a little bit of that in there further down the road. But we only in week 3 of the regular season for NCAA football, and we only in week 2 for NFL. So we gotta be fair and focus on these right now. You feel me? But we gonna slide some other stuff in. Trust me. With me as always, moving forward for your week 2 episode, it's always gonna be this guy over here, my cousin from another auntie, Couch Coach. What's going on, Couch?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, man, living a life, man, living a life. Or so people want to believe. Yeah, man. So how was your week, man?
Good, man. It's funny this time of year. It just feels like it's just constant moving, constant. Just when it comes to shows, content, everything. It's a fun time of the year, but it also is a very busy time of the year. But it's great for sure.
That's fair. I can 100% agree with that and rock with that because I have a couple more, like the one we do together as well. You know what I'm saying? I have to pick up a couple more shows for the football season, but not as many as before, which I ain't really mad about. So, keeping smooth, keeping it mellow. But good people, we're going to dive into it. So we're going to, we keeping it more like a conversational style. We got certain things we're going to talk about. We're going to keep it conversational here. So Couch Coach, hit us with the NCAA football news, sir. We just start off there.
Man, we got an interesting subplot. You got an interesting subplot at University of Colorado. We got Ryan Staub will be the starting quarterback in tonight's game versus Houston. So consider the fact when we looked at Colorado, where we thought it was pretty much a 2-man race as far as when it came to quarterbacks. When you bring in Caden Salter from my backyard at Liberty University in Virginia, and then Juju Lewis, the highly touted freshman. These both are making some good dollars in the NIL market. And now you turn to Ryan Staub, I think he's 5th-year senior potential. I think I'm not sure as far as that's concerned, but he's your third string quarterback coming into the season, and now he'll get start tonight under the lights to open up against Houston on the road against Houston. So we definitely want to see what he can do. He went 7-for-10 last week against Delaware, so this is definitely a different opponent than Delaware. So curious to see how he will play tonight in tonight's game for sure.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'll be watching as well.
Yeah. A good matchup coming up this weekend. We got Georgia versus Tennessee. As we talked about it, Tennessee will be without their 2 corners in Jermon McCoy and Ricky Gibson III. So that's going to definitely be an interesting matchup for tomorrow. That's going to be a 3:30 game. So that's going to be really interesting how that all plays out. You got the Battle of Florida potentially. When you have University of Miami hosting South Florida now that is ranked 18th in the country. That's an interesting subplot because obviously they got the win last week against Florida. It was amazing, like as far as seeing like those offensive coordinators, those coordinators in the press box yelling, screaming, going back downstairs, and just a poor lady for Florida, who as far as there to kind of usher them out of the press box area because she was looking like, oh man, but that's the and. To talk about the upset, that was a huge upset there, and it was a little bit of a controversy. Obviously, I forgot the young lady's name, but she's an AP voter, and she put Florida 2 spots ahead of South Florida, and I imagine the team, that's the team that South Florida beat them. So especially in this early of the season, for an AP voter to vote Florida ahead of South Florida was very interesting, and a lot of people had a lot to talk about. So yeah, it's been a very interesting week in college football for sure.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
And I'm kind of, and that's just kind of, to me, it's crazy, especially this time of the year. Well, I can understand it, because Florida really doesn't necessarily have a body of work. So pretty much Florida's first loss, they should be eliminated because this was an upset. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of one of those things where, yeah, voting is a privilege, and sometimes, and I do give her, I will give her kudos for, even though the announcers were a little bad, but hey, she stood on business. But it is what it is.
Yeah, she did a passive aggressive stand on business, but she did stand on business.
Yeah, I mean, hey, because if that would have been me, I would have been like, I wouldn't even give you no explanation whatsoever. I'd be like, because I know how people will twist it and know, like, hey, nah, nope.
That's fair.
Yo,
that's fair.
But yeah, and definitely prayers goes out to Missouri quarterback Sam. I think it's Sam Horn from Mizzou. Got hurt pretty much out for the season. He fractured his tibia, so definitely well wishes to him. Hopefully, I think he's a two-sport athlete. He was actually drafted in the MLB this summer in the 17th round. So definitely hope for a speedy recovery, and hope he'll be back better than ever come 2026.
Right, for sure.
Yep.
All right. So, any other news?
Not much. I mean, week 2, and it's funny. Week 2 is always historically has always been somewhat of a letdown compared to week 1, because obviously you have those key matchups, and it's a holiday weekend. So this is kind of the first kind of solid week. I mean, obviously, week 1 we had marquee matchups. We had Sunday night games, Sunday afternoon games. Then we also had the Labor Day game. This pretty much was the classic Saturday games. Like you said, the only really top 25 matchup that we had was Oklahoma versus Michigan. Obviously, you look at the score, it was 13-24, but pretty much Oklahoma pretty much cruised in this game. So it's just one of those where once again, that home field advantage help, and definitely a great win, for Oklahoma. Especially, I know a lot of people have really kind of looked at that program as kind of has regressed definitely after Lincoln Riley left. So, a great win for Oklahoma, and yeah. And it was just some other, and there was just some other blowouts. I mean, obviously you had Ohio State beating Grambling 70-0. Utah beat Cal Poly 63-9.
You just gonna take the whole. You gonna take the whole segment, huh, sir?
I mean, hey, yeah. And one was Florida. Miami crushing, but 45-3, the Ed Reed Bowl. So
All right, John. So we're gonna get into appreciate your couch coach for giving us a little information, and we'll go ahead and slide into. Of course, couch coach talked about some of the bigger blowouts for the week. The Florida State 77-3 win over East Texas A&M. Was very disrespectful, but hey, it is what it is. I'll even go with the Indiana 56-9 win over Kennesaw State was a big one. Obviously, Texas Tech 62-14. Tennessee who did have both of the cornerbacks get hurt, did have a 72-17 win over East Tennessee State. So these are some of your ranked matchups where they just kind of was dominant. Oregon with a 69-3 butt whipping over Oklahoma State as well. Utah, Cal Poly, we talked about that 63-9. Miami with the 45-3 win over Bethune-Cookman. I guess if it's over 40 and the other team scores a field goal or less, I guess you could consider a blowout. But we see some of the scores you're like, bro, really? Auburn, 42-3 over Ball State. And then you had Alabama with the 73-0 win over Louisiana Monroe. So of the we'll call them cupcake matchups, Couch Coach, was there one that kind of stood out in your mind?
Oh, none in a sense, but I mean, obviously, you look at when I look at like that Texas game, not necessarily, it didn't prove nothing necessarily. The 38-7 win over San Jose State, but it's kind of one of the things. Well, okay, you see kind of what Arch Manning is capable of doing. Obviously, we've seen him obviously in 3 starts last year against kind of some inferior opponents as well too. So kind of one of the things that good for his confidence. And then like Alabama, I definitely think that win definitely helps them as well too. I mean they were to a point where Kalen DeBoer was like public enemy number 1 in Tuscaloosa, even though it hasn't quailed. But hey, at least a win kind of came into the factor. So I definitely think that's kind of somewhat of a good boost. And Illinois looked very good against Duke. It was competitive in the beginning, but Illinois kind of pulled away, and now they're in the top 10 in the poll. So they did a great job going to Durham and take care of business. I think a fairly good Duke team that could potentially be an 8-9 win team. So yeah.
I feel it, man. I feel it. For me, it's got to be the 2 70-point wins, right? Florida State over East Texas A&M, the 77-3, and then also the 73-0 Louisiana Monroe drabbing by Alabama. And then I got to throw the other 70-point win in there, 2 Tennessee over East Tennessee State. When you can score 70 points on the opponent, and Ohio State did get 70 on Grambling too. When you can score 70 points against an opponent, and in the case of Ohio State and I believe Alabama, you didn't even allow the other team to get a point. But when you can score 77, and if you score over 70 points and the most you give up is everybody but Tennessee held their opponent to under 10 points. And obviously Tennessee had the issues with, cornerbacks getting injured, or they probably would have followed suit. So just some dominant wins and taking advantage of, if you are playing cupcake teams, which a lot of teams did this week, play that cupcake and play it the right way. And that's what I feel like a lot of teams did. And, we saw the results of that.
For sure. Yep.
And we did have a couple of some interesting games. A couple of upsets happening here. Forgive me if I miss any. But we did have South Florida with an 18-16 victory over Florida to boot Florida out of the top 25 and slide themselves all the way up to number 18. So, very interesting game there. We did have what would technically have been an upset by ranking. Oklahoma, now number 13 with a 24-13 win over Michigan. So we had that one. And I believe there was another one. Let me see if I can. I know there was one more I remember. But now my mind go blank when I got this stuff in front of me here. Gotta love it. Well, I thought there was one more. There may not have been.
I think so, as far as rank wise.
Yeah, I think that was it for the ranked ones. Yeah. So, couple of big losses.
Well, Baylor beat
Baylor and SMU. Yes, sir. That was the one.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
That was the one I forgot.
Baylor, SMU. Yeah.
It's funny that I forgot that one because I was very upset with SMU because the thing is,
right,
we're both ACC fans, right? College football in Miami.
Yep.
I remember correctly. You're Carolina for both. Am I remembering correctly, sir?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we want our conference to be good. So we can't be good when ranked teams like SMU go get spanked and beat down by Baylor. So congratulations, SMU, for not doing your job and helping the conference. Thankfully, we have Florida State, Clemson, and Miami right now. And I think Georgia Tech's going to be the one to join them as the 4 teams to kind of look at. Carolina, it's all going to depend on Belichick, right? The talent is not what it could be, but if he can find the right way to coach those young men, I think he can still make some things happen with what's there. So I'm just curious to see, or very interested, I should say, to see how that's going to all play out. But so yeah, not a lot really happened there in this week. Any upsets stand out to you, Coach?
Like I said, the only one, like you said, I looked at was that South Florida versus Florida. But it's kind of one of those things where I don't know if it's one of those things where Florida, it was ranked too high, and South Florida was kind of, in that, that top 30, top 40 type team, and Florida might be the same way. And that's one thing about kind of, and I know people, the argument, a lot of people say, well, we should get rid of the rankings, preseason rankings, but you got to think about it. That's how they kind of sell these matchups. And that's how, because they're not going to do because you think about it, if you have like the week one, we had Ohio State coming in as number 3 in the country versus Texas, number 1 in the country. If they both come in that matchup unranked, nobody's going to really, people are going to care, but they want to draw casuals and also college football fans. So you got to have to keep the rankings. So I think this kind of just a process of elimination too, where it's kind of one of those, well, okay, was Florida, good, as far as, was it really an upset? It's still kind of one of those things where it's kind of iffy where how they have Florida. And obviously, Florida struggled last year. Now, obviously, everybody's calling for Billy Napier yet again for him, for his job, which I think that's par for the course in September. It's been like they haven't been there. So, yeah.
Yeah, they be ready to run that man out.
Yeah.
They be ready to run that man out real quick. But you know what? So I was actually on the show with a Florida fan, and he said Billy Napier should have to sit here, and he should have to stew in the juices of what he caused. Yeah. Hey, I laughed so hard when he said that. But yeah, basically, I think most people feel like he's going to be gone after this season, and it's just a matter of him having to suffer for what he's done all season himself.
Yeah.
All right, so week 3. Top 10 matchups. We're going to go ahead and make our picks on these. So we have Indiana State traveling to number 22 Indiana, and that's going to be a Friday night game, 6:30 p.m. Coach, who getting that win?
Man, give me Indiana. Give me the fighting Isaiah Thomas. Give me the Hoosiers.
I'm right with you on that one. All right, then at 12 noon, Saturday, September 13th, we have Wisconsin traveling to Alabama, Tuscaloosa, to play number 19 Alabama. I'm going to go ahead and say Wisconsin put the last bullet in their head and put them out their misery, drop them out the top 25. I'm going Wisconsin.
If that happened at home in Tuscaloosa, Kellen DeBoer is not going to be able to leave that stadium. For the sake and for the health, the mental stability of Kellen DeBoer, give me the Fighting Forrest Gumps of Alabama. Give me Alabama. That can't happen. If they lose at Wisconsin, I swear to you, he's going to need a police escort to get out of that place. If they fall, like you said, 1 and 2, and they fell 1-2 and they out of the out of the top 25 poll. I don't even remember last time Alabama was out of the top 25 poll. It has got to be probably Mike Schuler led or Alabama team. So you got that's probably about 20.
I like a little anarchy, so
at least 18 years.
Yeah, I like a little anarchy. So
Man,
yeah, it is what it is. I like a little anarchy.
Shoot. What Antoine Johnson said, has your wife, has your kids. Man,
Number 12, Clemson couch coach. Traveling to Atlanta to play the as of now, unranked Georgia Tech. Who you got winning that game?
I got Georgia Tech. Give me the fighting Calvin Johnsons. I think it's gonna happen. Hayes King is better than advertised. Hayes King can play. And
that's a linebacker. That is a linebacker playing quarterback, sir. That is a violent man. Yes.
A violent rusher.
Yeah.
A dog.
I'm gonna go Clemson with the bounce back. We get into conference play, so now it's buckle up or knuckle up. Clemson can't afford another loss, so I'm gonna go Clemson. But I will say I would not be surprised if Georgia Tech does pick up the W.
Yeah.
All right, then also at 12 noon, we got number 13 Oklahoma traveling to Temple to play the Owls. Who's your winner, coach?
Give me Oklahoma the fight Baker Mayfield's. I wonder if they're gonna play that dump in Philadelphia.
Yo, Couch is about to have a name for everybody. I'm gonna love it, every one of them. I'm gonna love every one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma in that one too. Definitely. Then we got number 4 Oregon traveling to Northwestern. All I'm gonna say is Oregon.
Yeah, give me the fight. The fight Dylan Brooks is. Give me Oregon for sure.
Dylan Brooks do be fighting.
Right.
And we got still at 12 noon, y'all. We're still at 12 noon. It's the last 12 noon game goes. Central Michigan traveling to Ann Arbor to play number 23 Michigan, who is now fighting for their top 25 life. I'm surprised. This would be the upset of the season if Central Michigan beats Michigan. I'm gonna go Michigan.
Shout out to our guy Steve. Fired them chips, but man, give me the fighting Braylon Edwards of Michigan University.
He about to pick the fighting Cam Newton's next, y'all. We got number 1245. We got South Alabama traveling to Auburn. So staying within the state, traveling to Auburn to play Auburn, ranked number 24. Of course, I'm going to go with Auburn. I'm going to let Couch Coach give you his pick as well.
Yeah, and I'll get Auburn. Like we talked about Cam Newton, but give me the fighting Ronnie Brown. Give me a Cadillac. Number 24.
Love it.
Shout out to Ronnie Brown.
I love it. All right, then we have number 25 Missouri hosting Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns at 1 p.m. on Saturday. I'm going to go with Missouri, even though I feel like this is a toss-up. I'm going to give Missouri a little bit of an edge. I know you lost your quarterback, but, normally when you have a big injury, a catastrophic one like that, then next game everybody kind of bands together and you have a superhuman performance. So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, man. Give me I'm going to go with the number 2. I'm going to go with Mizzou, a.k.a. the fighting Michael Porter Jr. Sorry. So, hey, why not? Hey, that's what we do around here. MPJ.
Good luck in Brooklyn, MPJ.
Yeah.
Then we have Villanova traveling to number 2 Penn State at 3:30. Nittany Lions.
Yeah, man. Give me Penn State to fight Mike Robinson's, a.k.a. Mike Raw.
I would have said the fight with Saquon Barkley's, but
Yeah.
for
Okay.
obvious reasons.
Emotional damage.
At least you are not a Giants fan, or that would really be damaging for you.
Correct.
We got number 6, Georgia, traveling to face number 15, Tennessee. Got to go Georgia, especially with the injuries to the 2 starting cornerbacks. Because, Georgia should be able to light it up. They should be able to throw deep on these boys all game.
Yeah. And like you said, we talked about it earlier about the injuries. It would be a nice scene for those kids in Knoxville to sing Rocky Top to their lungs fall out until Sunday morning. But give me the number 6. Give me Georgia, aka the fight champ Baileys.
Okay. We got Oregon State at number 21, Texas Tech. Who you got, sir?
Give me Texas Tech to fighting Patrick Mahomes, and the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. All right, then we got number 14, Iowa State traveling to Arkansas State. Definitely, I feel like Iowa State should win that game.
Yeah, give me the Cyclones, aka the fighting Brock Purdy's.
He gonna find somebody, y'all. I'm telling you, I love it.
Famous alums, right?
All right, let's see. We have UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, traveling to number 7, Texas, to pick up a big check and lose by more points than the thousands on the check. Going Texas.
Yeah, give me Texas. Give me the fighting Colt McCoys, the Longhorns.
That's a good one. You could do the throwback Vince Youngs too. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, maybe next time for sure.
That'll be next time.
Yeah, we can get old school.
Yes, sir. All right, then we got number 18 USF traveling to Miami Gardens against Miami of Florida. The U. I've said this in the past. I've said today. I've said next week, next year, next month. As long as the good Lord allows breath to be within my lungs and my heart to beat, it's all about the U. I'm going Miami.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the U as well. Give me the fighting Michael Irvins of the Miami Hurricanes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Next time, I'm gonna throw you a bone for next time. You could do the fighting Dwayne Johnsons, or if you really want to get wild, you can do the fighting Frank Gores.
Yeah, or the late Sean Taylor or the late Jerome Brown for sure. We got we got all year for this.
Or the fighting Greg Olson's. Like, there's so many ways you can go.
So many of you guys, yeah, for sure. And hell, we can do Alex Rodriguez. We can. The list is endless for the U, for sure.
It really is. Yeah, I loved it. Then we got Ohio. Also traveling to get a paycheck to number 1 Ohio State. And I expect a slaughter. Not a victory. I expect a slaughter by Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's Bobcats.
Yeah, Bobcats has no chance. Like you said, it's a night game. Yeah, give me the fighting Terry McLaurin's of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, the other games were the 4:00 games. Oregon State was the last of the 3:30s. Now we have gotten into 7 p.m. with Ohio State. Now we have Arkansas traveling to Ole Miss for a good old SEC showdown. There won't be much of a showdown. Definitely going with Ole Miss, the running Rebels.
Yeah, give me Ole Miss, the fighting Eli Mannings.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Western Michigan traveling to number 9 Illinois. Another check pickup for them, and another beatdown as well. Definitely going with Illinois in this game. Would be shocked if they lose. Very shocked.
Yes, yeah, it's gonna be a great night in Champaign on Saturday. Give me Illinois. The fight Isaiah Juice Williams, the legendary quarterback. Juice.
The Juice is loose.
Shout out to Juice, boy.
Sir.
It was a great time to be alive in 2006, for sure.
Then we have number 16 Texas A&M traveling to South Bend to play number 8 Notre Dame. I'll let you pick first on this one.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame comes back. They were really they had an opportunity to win that game. So give me Notre Dame, the fighting Tony Rices of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They get back on the snide and get that win.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go Notre Dame as well. They didn't have the stew and the juices of losing to Miami for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They ain't playing no games.
Thanks.
All right, and then we have Florida traveling to number 3 LSU. Death Valley. It's not the place you want to be when you was dead in the water last week.
So
definitely gonna be dead in the water again. LSU.
Yeah. Same here. Go Tigers. The fighting Jaden Daniels. LSU Tigers.
Oh, Tigers. Then we got Vanderbilt. 7:45 game. Vanderbilt traveling to number 11 South Carolina. It's a 7:45 matchup. Got to pick an upset, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Vandy says, you know what, we got Alabama last year. South Carolina gonna let us sneak up on them, but South Carolina's still gonna win, just not by as much as people think. You thought I was gonna pick Vanderbilt. I can't do that.
You know what? We'll make it a little spicy. Give me the fight Skip Bayless's, the Commodores of Vanderbilt. Great win last week in Blacksburg. I think they could continue the roll. So definitely, the fight Skip Bayless's Vanderbilt will take care of business in South Carolina.
I just want to say, Virginia Tech, you don't understand the assignment either. Number 20 Utah traveling to Wyoming to drop off a check and a Hind Parts whooping. I'm gonna go with Utah.
Yeah, give me Utah. Give me the fighting Steve Smith seniors of the Utes.
Utah Utes, Steve Smith seniors.
The Utes.
I like it.
Yeah.
So good people, we ain't doing no commercials. We just gonna keep the conversation flowing here, and we're gonna slide right on into NFL talk. So we're gonna start with a little NFL news and notes. The talk is Brock Purdy's gonna be out with the injury. Kyle Shanahan excuse me, says that Mac Jones is in line to start. So that's going to definitely change the outlook that a lot of people, including myself, may have for the San Francisco 49ers. Jadeveon Clowney visited the Dallas Cowboys and left with no deal in place. So he's still out there if you want. If the team is looking to pick up Jadeveon Clowney. He's starting to garner a little interest, so you might want to hop on him. No pause, but he's still free as of now. Cowboys cornerback Deron Bland might miss a few games with a foot injury. Last year, he missed the first 10 games of the season with a stress fracture. He apparently re-injured his foot in practice on Monday. Just got an extension, and now he's already got a foot injury. That's so Dallas when you let Micah Parsons go. Great job, by the way. Great job. All right, a little update on Chris Godwin. He's recovering from a second surgery to fix the hardware in his ankle. He may be back by they are expecting him back by week 5. Week 6 is the latest from what we're seeing right now. Apparently, this is going to help try to speed up everything that happened. He had the surgery. He's another guy when these guys get older, some of them, they just seem to get hurt more. And Godwin's one of them. But when he plays, he's good.
It's effective. Yep.
Yeah, very effective when he plays. And they got another young guy, that's the young boy there now. So they're going to be 3 deep when he gets back, if they can get him healthy. Hopefully there's enough touches to go around. So the league is still reviewing Lamar Jackson's interaction with the Bills fan that he pushed. The team says they're going to handle everything internally. Lamar Jackson apologized to the fan that he shoved. But, all I'm going to say on this, and I don't know how you feel about it, Coach. If I'm a player and somebody shoves me, I'm shoving you back, yo.
Yeah.
I'm saying? Clearly, the fan was wrong because the team said, we banning you. You can't come back. You can't come back in the stadium because you don't put your hands on players. So if somebody put their hands on me, then I feel like I'm okay to put my hand back on them. And to me, that's what happened. And I don't have a problem with them being like, look, you can put your hands on me and think I ain't going to put my hands on your back player. It's not, we don't get down like that around here. So to me, I don't think there should be a suspension, but we know how the NFL is.
And I agree, because I'm at a point now where it's just like these incidents are happening too far, and too familiar, and it's getting to a point where, yes, you buy a ticket, you are a fan of this and to go to these games and you support your team, but you don't go up to the opposing player, the quarterback, especially in a game of that nature, in heartbreaking fashion. You lose by a single point, and some dude just come out of nowhere and just shoves you. Because you're not going to do that. Right. And you're not going to do that in the street. If you see me in the streets of Buffalo, you're not going to do that. You're going to go the other way. You know that you are in that prime position where you don't think you're going to give me recourse. Because I guarantee you, if it was Lamar Jackson by himself, you would not even touch him. You wouldn't have probably even spoke to him. And they got to learn a lesson. And it's just one of those things, like, you cannot put your hands on guys. I don't care what. I know a lot of people say, well, they shouldn't have been that close. It don't matter. It don't matter. Because hell, if the kid would have went on the field and he would have did something and would have pushed Lamar, it still is wrong. Regardless of where he is on the field, it does not matter. He shouldn't have been touched. And I think that's what people got to realize. Yes, you have a ticket. You can cheer for your team, but when I draw a line is when you have a physical touch, a physical confrontation with a player that's unwarranted.
I agree, sir. I 100% agree. Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver has a walking boot on Thursday. He was listed as did not practice with the DNP with the ankle designation. He was played a game of ping pong off the scooter before leaving the locker room on the scooter. So he's on the scooter and a walking boot. So it may be a little unlikely to see Ed Oliver on the field this weekend. And if we do, that means he got some of those Patrick Mahomes first Super Bowl against the Eagles drugs, whatever that is.
Pretty much.
The Vikings have made a few moves. They placed linebacker Blake Cashman and running back Ty Chandler on injured reserve. They signed wide receiver Tim Jones and tight end Nick Vanette to the active roster. And then they signed cornerback Tyreek Thunderbird and lineman Sion Taki to the practice squad. I had to make sure I didn't mess that up. And then Cashman and Chandler both will miss at least 4 weeks with their injuries. So could be interesting for the Vikings. Some of the depth pieces looks like they may be out.
Yeah.
So in a shocking turn of events from everything that we were told prior, Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy did practice on Thursday. He injured his shoulder on the week 1 loss to the Chargers with friendly fire with his own tight end Travis Kelce. Apparently suffered a dislocated shoulder. The Chiefs have not specified exactly what's wrong, and they said whether it's day-to-day would not require a stint on injury reserve and will not need surgery. So I would still be shocked if he plays, but just the fact that he had that dislocated shoulder, he's actually able to practice Thursday. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah, and now I laughed when you said that because Taylor Swift drafted Xavier Worthy on her fantasy football team, and then her fiance injures him in a game. Like, you cannot make this issue up, yo.
Hey, that's why you have to be tuned in with Couch Coach. Couch Coach give you the story, but he tie that thing into pop culture for you. You feel me? That's a special skill, bro. Like, for real, that's a special skill.
Yo, that was so funny when I heard that. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" She drafted this man, and then he gets her hurt.
Then her fiance tried to take him out.
Right.
So, Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas Goedert missed practice again on Thursday. I don't think we're going to see him in the game. They haven't ruled him completely out yet. And the problem with the Eagles and some of the teams that do this is, which I need to realize is people have fantasy football. And we need you to start putting these people on injury on Tuesday so that we can pick up other people.
Yeah.
And not have to drop them. Because that's what you're forcing people to do when you do this crap that you're doing. I understand it's gamesmanship, but you know fantasy football runs things. So we need y'all to work on that. But also, Goddard wasn't even at practice at all. Like, you didn't see him at all. Will Shipley with an oblique injury to his ribs in the oblique area, sidelined, and then Tanner McKee is still not throwing, but he hurt the thumb, right thumb. He hurt the thumb on his throwing hand. So you can understand you can't grip the ball, you can't play. So that's kind of why we got Sam Howell, because we already knew he was going to miss some weeks with that. Wow. All right.
That's worse than when y'all got Nate Sudfeld like a week before the season started in 2017. It's because deep. Why? Why, Howie?
I think Sam Howell's a better quarterback than Nate Sudfeld, but I mean, if you want to say that you feel like they're about equal, I mean, I'm not gonna really argue with you. He's our, if anything happens to Jalen Hurts, I hope that whoever our emergency quarterback gets in over Sam Howell. But I digress. We need Hurts to stay healthy. That's long story short. All right, Bears corner Jalen Johnson does expect to play in week 2. He missed week 1 with a groin injury. He's been able to practice fully for the last few days, Wednesday and Thursday, so he should be making his way onto the field. So hopefully Jalen Johnson can make a difference for the Bears. But as long as Caleb Williams cares more about his nails and hanging out with Angel Reese at a nail shop instead of working on his game, I might not see much difference. Yes, you heard me right. Angel Reese shouted him out because
she got a referral. She gave him a referral.
Yes.
The Bears.
That's not what I would like to be talking about anybody starting quarterback, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Vikings QB J.J. McCarthy didn't miss practice, but he has a very good reason. It's not an injury. Little J.J. is going to be making his way into the world.
Okay.
So, yep, he's going to have a great week on the field, and he's about to be a daddy. Papa J.J.
Another Michigan man is birthed.
Yeah, he shot the club up fast, didn't he? He waste no time.
Waste no time. He did that on injured reserve.
He's in the club up on injured reserve.
That's right.
He was licking off shots.
He was like, yeah, ain't got nothing else to do. I can't throw bombs.
You know what I'm saying? Semi-automatic Uzi flow.
Right.
Out this joint, you know what I mean? Well, congratulations to JJ. Sure. I don't know if the baby was born yet, but sure, if not, it will be by the time the show's played.
Little JJ.
Yeah, man. This dude said another Michigan man. Browns running back Quinshawn Judkins participates in his first practice with the Browns since June. He signed his rookie contract on September the 6th. Was a full participant, and they hope to get him into the game for week 2.
Good.
He did spend Wednesday in New York City with the NFL officials as part of the potential violations of the personal conduct policy. So, depending on how that goes, that could hamper when he actually does start playing. Because the NFL seems to be more concerned with what someone does off the field than actual law. So,
right.
It's kind of wild to me, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Judge, jury, and executor. Yep.
Right.
Yep. And the judge, jury.
Then in the NBA, they're like, we don't care what the real jury says or what the real law says. We're gonna have our own investigation.
Exactly.
Hey, it is what it is. Collective bargaining. Y'all better just, start tightening up on this stuff.
Right.
Collective bargaining players association.
Yep. And then like you said, and I agree, because don't be going for weed. You need health insurance. You need, like, as far as Roger Goodell not being the judge of anything that happened. So, like you said, that litigation, let it be handled in court. Don't have this suspension thing. Your health insurance, so you can have health insurance past your 40s. Forget about the weed. Forget about everything else and these type of supplements that you want to take that's not on the drug, up on a prohibited list now. No, you need big boy things at this point in your life. And, yeah, no more weed talk.
They're trying to distract y'all. Y'all got to focus.
Right.
Raiders tight end Brock Bowers is not practicing. Suffered a knee injury in the game against the victory against the Patriots. They're hoping he'll be able to play because they have a Monday night game, so he'll get an extra day. But yeah,
cool. You gonna be right. You gonna be up Monday for that 10 o'clock tip off kickoff?
No, sir.
Who you telling?
I might see about one quarter, maybe.
Yeah, that game gonna be
the
watching
TV will
me.
be on, but the game will be watching me. Yes, sir.
I ain't here.
Yeah. And you're doing it in week 2. You didn't even say let's do it week 1. You're gonna do it in week 2.
And luckily NBC don't have a game, and luckily NBC, because Chris Collinsworth would be like, now here's a guy that's on his sofa asleep.
That's dude. Also, linebacker Elandon Roberts did not practice, and him and Bowers did not even have their helmets, so there was no way that they were going into the game. CeeDee Lamb says that he's been dwelling on the drops that he had against the Eagles. To me, he was the player of the game for both teams. Oh boy, good job, CD. Way to get hands of stone, and I had a clutch gene. We appreciate you in Philly. Definitely appreciate you. Titans right tackle J.C. Latham will not play in week 2 against the Rams with a hip injury. So yeah, some of your pieces of news. Of course, there's more, but yeah. So we're gonna be picking here in a few minutes.
Yeah. So good night, Cam Ward. Now you got to face him without J.C. Latham. Yeah, good night, Cam Ward. That's not. Oh boy, that's gonna be rough.
Cam better be running for his life back there.
And that Rams front seven, yeah, dude, pack your lunch, pack a dinner. Matter of fact, at this point,
pack your lunch, a dessert, a snack, and everything. You're gonna need it all.
And a fruit cup.
You already know. All right, so week 1. For me, a couple of games stood out. Chiefs Chargers, I felt like was a good solid game. I'm not gonna lie, I'm an anti-Chiefs fan, so I was happy to see them lose. Good win for the Chargers, but one game does not make a season or make a division. So Watch out for those Chiefs when we get long term on that. Eagles, Cowboys, I mean, we kind of talked about it already on NFC Beats, me and Couch Coach. But for me, I'm impressed because nobody wants to talk about the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles walked into the game expecting to have their best defensive player, Jalen Carter, available, and he did not have one snap. He did not play one snap in the game. And to still come out with a win and still be decent on defense and, still put pressure on Dak and everything without your best defender. I mean, you got to applaud other guys that stepped up like Jordan Davis and other guys on the team on the defensive line. But, Eagles are the better team, so I wasn't surprised that they won. Just nervous that they let it be this close. We would have had more of a high-scoring game. I think the Eagles would have won by more if we didn't have that hour and a half a lightning break for the weather. After that, nobody did anything. They were just out there throwing the ball back and forth. I mean, people want to say that was a defensive battle after that. It wasn't. The offenses just were not good at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Any thoughts on the Chiefs and Chargers, Couch Coach?
Yeah, like you said, it's a divisional game. I did like what Justin Herbert did, but the thing about, and that's another thing when I don't like how people Justin Herbert, he did his thing, everybody's saying he's overrated. He does this during the regular season, guys. You don't make a fair assessment about Justin Herbert until the second week in January if he advances to the divisional round or it goes further. So he gives you good numbers in the regular season, but it's more so of the setback. And man, I'm telling you, these Friday night games have been very bizarre in nature. So it's like, can we kind of wrap this thing on up with this fascination of first Fridays in the NFL? Can we, now watching on YouTube, I'm like, this is kind of strange. But
it's staying, bro. That Brazil game.
It's staying. Oh yeah. And unfortunately, it's going. Yeah. And like you said, the Eagles and the Cowboys game, it's kind of one of the things where you look at that game where, especially when a fullback get hurt, and then the Jalen Carter situation. Usually, when those things happen, you always think to yourself, "Man, this is going to be." It's like an ominous feeling, like, "Man, this could be something where we look back at, as far, especially with that could be something where you're like, we could have lost that game," and those were kind of like the red flags, not the red flags, but the omens that you've seen in that game. But they was able to pull away with that win. I'm at a point, like I said this on my show, candidly. We all, how we are. We NFC East brethren. I want him to pull that stunt on us that Sunday before Christmas. I want him to do that, because guess what? He ain't leaving out that stadium. It ain't gonna be. You see how Dak, nobody came. You do that on JD5, the whole city coming for you.
The interesting part was I was watching a talk show and they were saying, well, not a talk show, but like a snippet from one of them, because I don't have time to be really watching all the nonsense.
Yeah, I know, right?
But they were talking about that. They were literally saying basically what you're saying. They was like, but they used us. They was like, okay, Dak's here, right? You got Dak doing this. The team was like, whatever with Dak. But they was like, if that had have been Jalen Hurts, the fans would have came out of the stands. The whole team would have came on the field. And it would have been a battle royale.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it alive.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, and then this whole, I'm like, man, but I looked at that situation where it's like, get him rattled. I'm telling you, that's going to be my key. And I already got a key for y'all, 3 months before the game. Get into his head, almost similar like Dennis Rodman did to Karl Malone. Get in his head. If you can get into his head and have that inevitable crash out, W.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So I felt like a lot of games on Sunday were close scores, but not really good games. Like the Falcons, Buccaneers. I mean, the Falcons lost Drake Lloyd early in the game. I mean, Drake London. I said Drake Lloyd. Drake London. Buccaneers eked out a 23-20 victory because Yohan Koo Well, I'm gonna say Young Hoku.
Yeah.
They can try to make it whatever. It's Young Hoku, and missed another field goal.
Yeah.
The Browns, the Bengals did everything they could to lose that game, but the Browns said, "Not so fast, my friend. We will beat you because we are not good."
Yep.
I gave them the game back. I said it on Beast. I've been telling people, Daniel Jones, give him a good team around him. I'm not saying he's great, but he's at least mid of the field. In middle of the field with that offense, line pretty decent, running game, couple of wide receivers, tight end, like you got all the weapons there already in place. And I mean, think about the situation, Coach. You look around the league if you're Daniel Jones, you say, I want a chance to start. What's the top place that I can go and have a chance to start? Indianapolis was the perfect thing. When he signed there, I said, that man's smart. Say what you want about Daniel Jones, he's an intelligent individual.
Man. Yep.
Because he went to one place where he knew either he could beat out the quarterback or he'd be hurt by week 3. And he'd take the job either way.
Right. And he got weapons on that team. He got a good running back. You got Pittman, Josh Downs. You got guys there. And then also with Shane Steichen, Pierce. Yeah, I cannot forget about Pierce. And then you got Shane Steichen, who I still think is still a good offensive guru in a sense. So I definitely think coupled with that, like it's a perfect marriage. It's like, and he had success with the Giants, obviously, that first year with Dayball, and then it kind of tailed off. So he has had some success in his league. And like you said, he going to a team where they're on the fringe on Anthony Richardson, especially at this point, because like you said, the inconsistency, then the injury, that rookie year, then the whole situation when he wanted to take a break without the huddle. Remember that? And I even said then that he's like may not be able to survive that. And not necessarily saying that he gonna get cut or whatever, but as far as when it comes to having the respect in the locker room, as far as being an official like QB1, where there's and hence why a guy like a Daniel Jones, who's not just a quote unquote backup, he's a guy that can potentially start for your team. So he's a fringe starter in his league. So it was the perfect spot for him to go to.
Yeah, not surprised the Dolphins have fallen apart. Not surprised the Panthers aren't who the Panthers fans thought they were. Patriots and Raiders, not really surprised that whoever won that game, I wasn't going to be surprised. Yeah, that's what it is.
I got the Patriots a wild card team, so I kind of expect a little bit better from them. I had them as a wild card team.
Well, I tell you what, they definitely may be disappointing you on that front. Cardinals, Saints. Not surprised the Cardinals beat the Saints. I think the Saints, to me, are the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm surprised the Cardinals only beat them by 7.
Right.
Then, of course, interesting game. Aaron Rodgers, the Mushroom Man himself, and the Steelers with a come-from-behind victory, 34-32, over a really good-looking Jets team. Jets team outperformed what I thought. I say the difference is, and I say this partially jokingly, partially serious. The difference is it looks like in the fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers went over there and got us a special mushroom mix and took that. And then we saw a different Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. He turned up a notch. And I give him credit. And that's one thing I like about him. Regardless of how people think about him or indifference, he kept it a buck when it came as far as he took this game and it was personal. Because a lot of people, they'll be like, well, nah, it's just another game on the schedule. No, he said it because the way they treated him, I still, regardless of how I felt, how he played, that man was in California. They flew him all the way to New York, New York/New Jersey, whatever, to tell him that, you know what, we don't want you no more. That could have been an email. That could have been something that you could have sent to my agent, a text to my agent. You made me come in here and make me look like a fool. You embarrassed me. And I guess what? And I took it personal. And shout out to Aaron Rodgers, and definitely a huge shout out to the SAS guard, Jalen Ramsey, making a huge play on that final drive. So shout out to the SAS guard. and he balled out. I think this year gonna be personal for him as well too.
The Jets did look good too, though.
Yeah, I like Justin Fields did. I think he
Yeah.
had a great did well as well too, and I think he's another one that's gonna prove that hey, the Bears brass, y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all chose me over the Bears.
And then we had your 21-6 victory over the New York Football Giants. Anything you want to say about that? I'm not surprised at all that happened.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but that's the kind of those are kind of games where it's like that would have been a situation where we could have lost that football game because a lot of people thought it was just going to be like an easy sailing, but it was a good game on both fronts. You seen kind of like as far as the pressure to Russell Wilson, we got to him. We really didn't get home to him as far as sack wise, but we did get some good pressures on Russ. We definitely stopped that run game, and that was kind of one of the biggest issues going into the season was how Washington was going to stop that run defense because here go everybody. You guys are terrible against the run. Dan Quinn has his teams are always bad in the pass defense. Shut the hell up and just let us play. Oh my bad.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. If they was worried about y'all taking your business on Russell Wilson, I don't know what they was looking at or what they were thinking. I'm just saying, Russ is cool.
Yeah, he's done, and that's one thing too where
and it's just.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And I don't blame him for getting that money though. If somebody willing to pay me, I'm gonna take that money.
Exactly. And quiet as kept, Russ can be in the same position for the next probably 4 or 5 more years. Because he can still probably be a backup somewhere. Yeah. Because
somebody's gonna say, oh, Russ, we can bring Russ in and Russ will help our team be better. Somebody gonna do it.
Our emergency quarterback is Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson to play for every team in this National Football League. Josh Johnson been around since like 2007 or 8. Like, dude been around for a minute. He's the emergency quarterback for the Washington Commanders. And you don't think Russell Wilson can do that at 40-something years old? And because he'll be 38. No, he'll be 37 in November. So yeah, he could probably play in the league for another 4 or 5 years. I can see him as that backup quarterback in his early 40s and probably retire about 4 or 5 years. I can see that because, like you said, Russ will always find a home somewhere. It may not be QB1. And I don't blame him. I mean, it's true. And plus, he having all them kids. They got to eat.
Yep.
I mean, straight up. Like, you can get that girl pregnant every year.
I can't blame him for that either. Broncos shoot the club up. Sometimes the club got to be shot up.
Why not?
Yep. Broncos beat the Titans 2012. Not surprised by that. The 49ers found a way to beat the Seahawks. Not really surprised by that. But, with the quarterback being out, you got to look at them a little different.
And Kittle, too. I'm like, and Kittle, they screwed.
Packers with a 27-13 victory over a Lions team without either coordinator. And Packers with that boost of getting Micah Parsons. That didn't surprise me because the Lions were all bark and no bite.
Yeah. Easily at this point. It's early, so they're gonna have an adjustment period. So hopefully the Lions can kind of get back into kind of their winning ways. But yeah, it's gonna be some time for them because when you lose both your quarterbacks, your coordinators like that, you lose a part of your identity. And I think people fail to realize that you lose a lot, especially when you lose both. Like sometimes you can lose a offensive coordinator. And then the next year, a defensive coordinator, but you lose both of them in the same time period. It's going to be some adjusting, especially in the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Then you got the Rams beating the Texans. I mean, they got to do something about that line. You can't blame no quarterback behind that line. You got to do better.
Yeah.
Bills and Ravens. Your thoughts on Bills Ravens, man? The Bills came back with a 41-40 victory. The Bills, every time their fans start leaving early and don't believe them, it looks like they get more energized and win.
I know. I'm almost to a point where I want you to leave. Like at this point, if we down, you did this, you do this often. I think it's one of those things where Baltimore, it's got to be something as far as they got to have what I call exorcism. They got to get to a point where they're in these critical games and they don't commit a turnover. And it's something about them being in, and I call like the driver's seat. Obviously, I think about the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. Driver's seat, fourth quarter lead against the Kansas City Chiefs. You got them on the ropes. They in Baltimore. You get that drop by Zay Flowers. Last year, the playoffs in the division round, and we thought the scene of the crime. You got that Mark Andrews drop, and then now this one where you were up by 15. Derrick Henry fumbles, and then it did Buffalo with a quick strike offense, just did them in, and it's just one of those where Baltimore's right there, and it's and you can see that window as contenders, but it's just those critical moments where it's like they just don't convert, or they get like a costly turnover. And it's one of those things where it's crazy. And obviously people will look at the secondary guy Gash. Obviously, Keon Coleman had a game. I think that's one thing where I know a lot of people like where they expected him to have, a better rookie season, but he's off to a great sophomore campaign for sure. So I think we will see these teams again, potentially in the AFC Championship game. That's what I predict. So I think there's going to be a round 2 at least in this NFL season, in my personal opinion. They're going to see each other at some point again.
Yeah. All right. And then, it's basically the same conversation. Bears, Vikings, Monday night. Caleb Williams more worried about his nails than his game. And we see that so far we're not getting everything happening the way that we need, that they expect with Ben Johnson and all that. So,
yeah. I think, but it's more, I think, to a credit to what Minnesota. I always think Minnesota was going to be a 12-win team. A lot of people looked at me like it was a joke. I still think they have a joke. Yeah, but I think they have the perfect combination, because I think J.J. McCarthy, quiet as Kevin, I've said this before, he's on a team where he doesn't have to be the hero in a sense, because he has, like, you look in that game where, yes, he's going to have to make some throws at needed times, but he's not going to be the end all be all, because they still have a great running game. You see how the running game kind of opened up for them when Jordan Mason kind of did his thing that led to the touchdown, and then also Aaron Jones was effective in that second half, and then J.J. McCarthy made those throws to Justin Jefferson. So you look at those where, and then coupled with that defense got definitely a lot tighter now, especially that, and I think another key contributor in that far as Minnesota, just cumulatively wise, is the acquisition of Jonathan Allen. I think that's going to be huge for them down the road. But I think if J.J. McCarthy can almost kind of be similar to kind of how he was in Michigan, this team can be successful. I mean, he doesn't have to have gaudy type numbers. I think if he can probably complete maybe about 25, 30 passes a game, maybe I'll put about 35. I mean, 30 in that 30, 35, he can kind of get 30, as far as throws out and be somewhat efficient, probably slinging around about like 27, 28 times potentially. And I think that could be a winning recipe for the team, because he doesn't necessarily have to be that, like continuous 50 throws a night type of guy. And I think he could be effective. And then now I think hopefully, when Jordan Addison comes back, it adds another element to this offense as well. So Minnesota is a low-key sleeper in the NFC North, for sure.
All right. So, y'all, we're going to make these picks real quick, fly through these picks, and get on up out of here. We are making these picks prior to the Commander-Packers game, 8:15 Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and pick that one as well. Couch Coach, I know who you have winning. So we're not even going to ask you. You got the Commanders winning. You're not going to pick against the Commanders in this game. I'm actually going to go with you, and I'm not going to pick against Commanders. The Commanders have an advantage that the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys also have. We know Michael Parsons. We know how to neutralize Michael Parsons, and I think we will see that tonight. I am going with the Commanders picking up the victory. And I'm sure that you concur. I can speak with that for you.
Ditto. And guess what? We got a Deebo Samuel. Guess what all he wanted to do? Yes, we will take Micah and his chain.
Yes, sir. All right, so starting with the 1 o'clock games. A lot of these are to me are pretty cut and dry. All right, we got the Browns at the Ravens. I'm definitely picking the Ravens over Browns. I don't even need to say anything about that. Ravens over Browns.
I'm gonna go. I think the Ravens. I think not the Ravens. I think the Browns gonna win. I got a strange feeling the Browns gonna win. I got an upset alert.
It might just be diarrhea, but okay. Or indigestion.
Oh no.
We got the Jags at the Bengals. I'm gonna say Bengals pull out a close game. If it was later in the season, I would say a Bengals smash, but it's still early, so I'll go Bengals with a close win.
Yeah, give me the Bengals as well. I got the Bengals winning this game. Improved 2-0 for the first time in our lifetime.
Silly, bro. You might be right, but you're silly.
Right.
We got the Giants at the Cowboys. Dallas gets their first win of the season, even if CeeDee Lamb drops like 5 balls in the fourth quarter again.
Yeah. Give me the Cowboys, unfortunately. The team from Arlington.
I know that's right. We got the 0-1 Bears at the 0-1 Lions. Some people might think this is blasphemous, but I'm gonna say Bears. The Bears.
I'm gonna say the Lions. I think Lions pull it out.
Fair enough. 0-1 Patriots at the 0-1 Dolphins. The Dolphins look like hot doodle juice, the second worst team in the NFL right now. I am going with the Patriots.
Yeah, give me the Patriots as well.
All right. And we got the 1-0 49ers against the 0-1 Saints. This is a lot harder than you think because of the injuries to the 49ers. But the Saints are in the business, I think, of giving away games. I'm going to go with the 49ers in a tight game.
Yeah, give me the 49ers. And Mac, we trust. Don't ask me how I got this. But yeah, shout out to Mac Jones, the 49ers.
That's crazy. We got the 1-0 Bills with their comeback victory and one of the better games against Justin Fields and the 0-1 Jets, who probably feel like they let one get away. I'm gonna let you pick first in this one. I need one more minute.
All right, what's the matchup game? My bad. It was
Bills and Jets.
Give me the Bills. Yeah, give me the Bills in this one.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick the Jets.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Jets. We got the Seahawks 0-1 against the Steelers 1-0. Woo, it's another one. I'm gonna go with the better quarterback right now. I'm gonna go with the Steelers and Aaron, the Mushroom Man Rodgers.
Yeah, give me. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, give me A-Rod.
Aaron, there we go. You got the 1-0 Rams against the 0-1 Titans. I think things get uglier for the Titans before they get better. I'm gonna go Rams.
Rams, unfortunately.
Then we got the Panthers at Cardinals in the first of the 4:00 games. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the Panthers found a way to win a game early in the season.
Give me a little Kyler Murray versus little Bryce Young. So yeah,
the battle of the toddlers. Yeah. All right, and then we got a 4:05, the Broncos at the Colts. The Broncos seem to be looking pretty good right now, so we're gonna roll with them. I'm gonna go Broncos.
Yeah, give me the Denver Broncos.
Then we got the Eagles at the Chiefs. You know who I'm picking.
All right, hey, I think the Eagles gonna take care of business, and it's crazy. Kansas City falls 0-2. Crazy.
Love it. Nothing would make me happier. We got the Falcons on Sunday Night Football at the Vikings. We got a Penix versus a McCarthy. Let's go Vikings.
Give me the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're going to take care of business, a heartbreaking fashion. Yeah, I think the Falcons will take care of business.
I wouldn't be mad if the Falcons win the game at all. All right, the Monday night, we got 2 games. The first one is 7 p.m. on ESPN, ABC, ESPN Deportes. We have 1-0 Bucks against the 0-1 Texans. I'm calling for a Texans turnaround. They're going to run the ball more. They're going to get the job done. I'm going Texans.
I'm gonna give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me Baker the touchdown maker.
All right, you going with Faker Bayfield? I'm going with C.J. Stroud. All right, then 10 p.m. the game that I might see one quarter of and read the highlights later. The 1-0 Chargers at the 1-0 Raiders. You know what? I'm feeling wild this week. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
and like the former governor of California, go Chargers, go. A little Justin Herbert at the dog, huh? What do you know about that?
I feel it, man. I feel it. So yeah, that's all the games, man. Me and Couch Coach are different on quite a few picks. I guarantee you, more often than not, I'm going to be the one that was wrong. I need to start calling this my NFL picks sure to go wrong, because I'm sure that that's what's going to happen with someone. But that's okay, man. You got to have muy grande cojones when you're making picks.
Yes.
Can't always go where you think it'll be. You got to go with that feeling. And like I said, it might just be indigestion, but hey, you got to go with it.
I got the Cleveland Browns.
That was a wild one, but hey, I ain't mad. You could be
Flacco going back to the crib. Flacco going back to Baltimore.
So good people, we are getting off of here. But before we do, Couch Coach, any last thoughts? We're gonna let the people know where to find you.
For sure. Yeah, man. Always great to link up with my cousin from another auntie.
You know it.
From another auntie. Yeah, man. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Couch Coach Live. Check out our live show every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. The website couchcoachlive.com.
All right. Y'all know where to find me. Bam. Everything's there running. Yep. And be back next week. Make sure y'all tune in. And every second week, tune in. You can catch me with my man, Couch Coach. Hey, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. And just tell about 5 or 10 people to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share the joint on Friday when it was live. Right? Yep. And with that being said, man, we out of here. We'll be back again next Tuesday, second week with Couch Coach. Tune in next week. Got another guest host for you with your boy Cool McCain. You get to see my mug every week, but we're gonna bring in some fresh people with you every week. Let's get it.